Good evening. I hope I find you well. This kind of a miserable day, a permanent drizzle. And so we start off with our hymns. We start off with our hymns, don't we? Sacred Heart of Jesus. Sweet Heart of Jesus, fount of love and mercy, today we come thy blessing to implore. Oh, touch our hearts, so cold and so ungrateful, and make us love thee more and more each day. Sweetheart of Jesus, we implore. Oh, make us love thee more and more. Sweetheart of Jesus, make us pure and gentle, and teach us how to do thy blessed will, to follow close the print of thy dear steps. And when we fall, sweetheart, oh, love us still. Sweetheart of Jesus, we implore. Oh, make us love thee more and more. Hey, yeah, sweetheart of Jesus. Yeah. Oh, blessed Mother. Hail, Queen of Heaven, the ocean star, guide of the wanderer here below. Thrown on life's surge, we claim thy care. Save us from peril and from woe. Mother of Christ, Star of the sea, pray for the wanderer, pray for me. O gentle, chaste, and spotless maid, we sinners make our prayers to thee. Remind thy Son that he has paid the price of our iniquity. Virgin most pure, Star of the sea, pray for the sinner, pray for me. Love them two hymns, above all. And when you're looking at them, they're not blinking. They don't blink. But you might blink, but they don't. So here we are on this drizzly old day. What do you make of it? The sun is taking a rest, have you? We should come out and just get rid of them clouds, if I may say so. But remember, we'll have to go by whatever you throw in our way. So I was busy enough today after my videos. I headed off to visit my darling wife, Julie, her grave in Kilmainhamwood. The Sacred Heart Church, the graveyard is beside us, which is very good. You don't have to travel. Yeah. And I brought a bucket and a couple of cloths and that kind of thing, and wash up liquid. So after I said my prayers, the decade of the rosary for my darling wife Judy, for the happy repose of her soul, asked her how she was, etc. I do that kind of thing. I said, I'm here, and said, drizzle, you're all right wherever you are. It ain't drizzling wherever you are. Hopefully up in heaven. So said his decade of the rosary. And then I got my bucket up to the water. I didn't fill it to the top, half filled it, and put the wash up liquid. and give it a good stir, and then got my equipment and cleaned the headstone. There can be board strappings and that kind of thing, and I did some part of the front and all the rest of it, and cleaned off anything that I could see, and took up a couple of weeds. You don't plant these things, but by goodness, don't ask me how they grow. I got rid of them. And there was some other ones there. I put them away. There was there's a couple of ones that probably Julie's sisters put up, and they're down, like they need to be replenished. And I bought flowers, nice flowers. They cost a few bob. These ones, and in loving memory, and I put it there with love. Give her a good scrub. Yeah. And then after I'd done all my little duty, I put the bucket and the rest of it back into the car. And then I went to the church, lit a few candles, hopped in €1. It doesn't say what, which is unusual to say what the charge is. So I have to try and figure it out. So it probably no more than 20 cents, but it doesn't say it anywhere. So I put in €1 and lit 3 candles, and for the happy report of the souls, those that pray for, especially my darling wife Julie. And so that was what I did. And right enough, it's a grand thing to do. And then into the church, as I say, lit a few candles, and then I did the Station of the Cross, which I offer up for the end of the war in Ukraine. The end of the war in Ukraine. Yeah, the end of the war. And at the end of the wars, wherever they're taking place, to solve nothing, only people suffer and die. And those that die in Ukraine and elsewhere, happy forever in heaven with all the ancient saints. And that's my intention. So on the way over, I said the Rosary, the Holy Rosary. And then I said some of the Chapel of the Mercy, which I offer up for the innocent babies killed by the mothers in this abortion evil all over the world, including in this country. I know it's 12 weeks, but then we don't know what they do, and have these exclusion jobs that turn them cheek. It's a good thing for women that's going to kill their babies to have some chance to repent before they do this dreadful act, and some of them do. But this crowd wants them to go ahead, and they're taking place in maternity, in where there's children born, and then another section where the murder takes place, a concentration camp, shall we say, because that's what I call them, concentration camps. But they're so thick and ignorant they don't use that expression, hell to call it. It just shows you how evil they are. They're in league with you know who, the evil one. That's what people like that do. They become corrupt. I wouldn't like to be in their shoes when they meet their maker. They won't be too, they'll know all about it then. And these ones in governments and that did this and support this, repenting won't be much that great help to them, because the harm that they've done, the innocents that have been killed by their actions. And people voted for it here to their eternal shame. Let's hope with the pro-life people and people of decent people. And when the Christian TV Ireland gets going as a TV station, we will certainly condemn it. We'll interview people that have killed their babies. Yeah. And also doctors that have repented, that were involved in this. Terrible. Thank God for the pro-life people and the people like myself that support life from conception to natural death. That's the civilized way to do things. The ones that don't do it are just savage. They're lost. They're possessed of pure evil. There's no question about it. And they want to repent. I think President Trump is trying to do something about it in America, but of course he's pilloried in this miserable country with they're so astray in the head in the media. People that I sometimes look at have no time for them whatsoever. None of them, except independents that are pro-life. And then they're often abused by the powers that goodness, I wouldn't like to be in their shoes. Or anybody that has been guilty of that, including in America, the Democrats. And they've the cheek to open their mouth about what President Trump is doing. And they've a terrible record. They nearly destroyed that lovely country. Letting every Tom, Dick and Harry in from the South, criminals and devil knows what. You can't do these things like that. You have to have some respect for your own people. And treat them with respect and try to inflict misery on doctors that don't want to take any part in the killing of the innocent or the vulnerable or the euthanasia, the despicable gender business and the education. President Trump will change that. He'll have my prayers. And we have a new Pope, and I hope he begins to support the universal language of Latin and the Catholic faith with the priest facing the tabernacle, not turning his back on it. Oh, terrible. I couldn't be a priest and do that. I wouldn't turn my back on it full stop, no matter what any bishop yapped about. I tell them to repent. Yeah. So that's the story, Rory. And anyways, there was a grand little thing, and I just mentioned it that I come across, and one of the lovely priests that I follow in the United States, and you mightn't know about it, but I suggested, and he did it some years ago himself, to write down, sometimes, for example, he said he used to complain about the bin men coming early in the morning making a racket. I was negative, but then he started thinking positive. Somebody mentioned something to him about writing down things that he was good. And he's done that for the past 12 years. And I have sort of started it myself, just there as a result, putting down the good things that I am happy about. And I'll be doing it again this evening. I think I was very happy what I did today. Even though there was the drizzle, I had my coat on, had to put on the hat as well when I was up doing my prayers for my darling wife, Julie. May she rest in peace. 7th anniversary coming up in July, and I have the Mass already arranged. 11:30 Mass in the Sacred Heart Church. I love the name of the Sacred Heart Church, Catholic Church, Kilmainham Wood, which is near King's Court, but it's actually Kilmainham Wood, Kells, County Meath. So it's on the borders, and the town that to go to is they don't go to Kells, they go to Kilmainham Wood, and they go to that big town, the town nearby, not Cavan, some other town. Not Carrickmacross. To go to that town. So here we are, and so I got back then and I had a salad dinner. I like to have that at least one day a week, just to balance things out. So there we are. I hope you had a nice day wherever you were. So there's an idea. In the book, I'm putting it in my diary. 3 things that they're going to be filling it in now shortly. Yeah. Bye now. God bless.